Well, we certainly have our work cut out for us, but on the plus side, we've got at least a very reliable matrix connection, as reliable as Chicago is likely to get. Case, I think me and you are going to have to take points for this neighborhood.
Case is Case jumps into ER or AR and starts looking around, just his spam filter to try to get rid of some of the mess going on, and just seeing if he's not necessarily looking at the icons he can see. He's trying to see what he can't see. One success.
Yeah, there's nothing really out of the ordinary that you're finding. Of course there are hidden icons, but you might expect that in an area like this with so many people. Nothing jumps out at you.
He's going to just continuously be looking.
Well, I'm going to look for a place that we can start to pump the locals for information, or at least, find out how often stuff like this has been happening. I don't imagine that there's a shortage of sinless, but you never know. Someone may have seen something.
Well, like I said, there's a lot of little buildings and a lot of even shops and sometimes kind of little. It's the area that you're in right now is almost like a little bazaar.
House is going to look for, in augmented reality, any sort of communal establishment that advertises itself as kind of like a hacker friendly or technophile friendly meeting place.
You can find one. There's a little eatery not too far, and it's in the middle of some of these workshop areas, and it's a little like snack place. It's not quite a coffee shop, but it's not quite a restaurant either.
House is going to walk in and sit down at the equivalent of like the stool bar seating area, and strike up a conversation with whoever's working the counter.
Sure, there are some people in there. It's a little bit of a noisy place. It's everybody's there is in good spirits. The general spirits of this area is actually pretty positive and noticeably a stark contrast to what you've been used to since your time in the containment zone. You guys are just outside the containment zone, so it's not like you're in the greatest part of town, especially this area. But it's definitely doesn't have the stink of being quarantined for decades. People are around talking about say stuff they're working on and little projects they're doing, and maybe shop owners and sales that they've been trying to make with little electronics and drone parts and stuff like that. But the person working at the counter comes up and says, "Hey, you want something to eat?"
Yeah, can I get a soy calf and a menu? And yeah, do you have any like local scream sheets or something just to kind of help me get a feel for the area? I'm visiting from out of the Metroplex, so I've always heard of the Jamaica area, but I've never been here firsthand.
Yeah, sure, no problem. We we always love newcomers here in the collective. You a tinkerer yourself?
Yeah, I've been known to do a little bit of work with security systems, robo-automatic drones and such, and if need be, just a little good old-fashioned electronics tinkering, repair, and maintenance. So,
Absolutely. Well, it's right up our alley here. In the collective. He's making your coffee as he talks, and he says, yeah, we got some general info that you can get, and he shoots you over. He slides an AR kind of arrow, you know, scream sheet like you're talking about, and he gives you what you asked for, and he says, so what kind of stuff are you into? What brings you here to Chicago in general?
well, you know what they say with the containment zone being more open than ever, people are going to want to take advantage and move in, just like the old gold rush days here in your North America. And in order to do so, they need reliable infrastructure and they need a safe place to conduct business. So I'm looking to help clean up the neighborhood, as it were.
Absolutely, absolutely. You and a lot of other people around here. I mean, look, this business that you see around here, it's bustling, bustling. I mean, we don't normally get business like this, and in the past couple of months, we've seen a lot of people coming in just like you, actually.
Well, here, let me pay you for the coffee so far. And do you mind if I keep a tab open for a few minutes while I just peruse the menu?
Sure thing, no problem. Here's your soy calf, and if you need anything, just holler.
Yeah, well, House makes a note of what this establishment is, and he sends it by text message as being kind of pretty open to strangers. So it might be a good place for them to hit up if they're here on for more than a day.
Alrighty. I'm trying to think of a name, a punny name for a coffee, a snack place. Um,
Recharge.
there you go. All right, place is called Recharge.
Looking over the menu, I want to do a perception check and see if there's any noticeably old or in disrepair machinery or electronics in the establishment.
Everything looks pretty put together here, except for well, give me a matrix perception.
3 successes.
Okay, yeah, you notice that they are using a pretty old the soy calf machine. You know, like the soy espresso machine that they were using to put your drink together is pretty old, and he was shaking it and fiddling with it to get it to work. He got it to work, but as he was talking to you, you noticed it took a little bit longer to get it working than maybe it should have.
House calls the guy back over in between customers and asks him if he can do a little pro bono work to drum up some business.
Oh, what do you? Um, yeah. What do you have in mind?
Well, this soy calf was, it's very delicious, but I dare say it's not very expedient. I
Yeah.
notice you do have a working model over there behind the counter, but it doesn't appear to be running up to specs. Do you mind if I see if I can't possibly improve it in
Yeah, yeah.
exchange for leaving an arrow?
Yeah, that piece of dreck, like you said, it does the work, but I have all these troubles sometimes with getting the s- the steam to come out right. Sometimes it just doesn't want to drip the way it's supposed to, and I keep meaning to have somebody take a look at it, but with all the business coming in so quickly, it's kind of like I just gotta, I'm just trying to stay afloat here, and not that I'm complaining, I'm grateful for it all, but yeah, hey, if you want to take a look at it, you sure you don't want me to pay you for the business?
Oh, not at all. I mean, if it performs to your liking and I'm allowed to leave an arrow, it's kind of my calling card for future work. It will pay for itself in the long run. Um, you know your business pattern better than me. Are you able to have it taken offline now, or should I come back maybe later?
Yeah, well, right now we're kind of busy, so uh if you were to come back in maybe an hour, then business might slow down. The crowd, the late night crowd who's trying to, get work done, keep business, keep their, selves awake. They kind of start to trickle out by around then.
All right. Well, I'm going to take a pastry to go, and I'll return in let's say an hour and a half. Since there's always stragglers this late.
Sure, no problem. Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah, the name's Hauser.
Yeah, thanks, Hauser. The name's Andrew.
Good Nacht, Andrew. Nice to meet you. So I'll take this to go. Here's my new yen, and I'll see you again shortly. We'll see if we can't have you going from 0 to midnight.
Sure, thank you. He goes back to work.
House walks out and just kind of blends back in with the crowd and checks in with the others to see if they've come up with anything yet.
All right, what have the rest of you guys been doing while he was in there?
Yonkers is going to follow his liver to the nearest dive bar
All right.
because bartenders know everything.
Yep, there's a bar called The Office.
Sounds professional.
So you go in there, and it's your typical dive bar. There's nothing particularly standoutish about it. It's similar to the other place. It's kind of busy. The whole place is bustling, almost unusually for this time of night. There's a lot of stuff going on, which it's like around 11:30 p.m.
Oh, it's kind of booming hour, I guess. Uh, just do a quick look around to make sure, the girl isn't sitting right in front of my face or someone who meets her description. And if that's not the case, I'm going to go just see if we either have if the bartender or someone who looks like they're some sort of information broker is sitting around.
They're just normal patrons at the bar, and there's a bartender up there. But as you come and sit down, he kind of walks up and says, "Hey, how can I help you, chum?"
Need a double gin straight up.
Yeah, no problem. Coming right up. He just walks away and kind of pours it and brings it back.
I on the AR stuff, hit the tip menu, and I assume you can see my the menu there, the AR thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to put in for a tip 20 credits or 20 new yen, and just kind of look at him and say, "Yeah, been looking for a cousin of mine. Seems she's kind of hit hard times. Ever heard of a name Samantha? Heard of her?"
There's a lot of people that come in here. You might need to give me a little bit more of a description than just Samantha. What's she look like?
Bit of a waif, dark hair, about yay tall. Hold my hand up to about where said clone girl would be.
Yeah. Give me a. Do you have an etiquette? Give me an etiquette roll.
Yeah, I do. 1 second. 3 successes.
Says, yeah, there is a kind of a weird, strange girl came in here not too long ago, by that name, Samantha, looking around, kind of didn't look too together with it, came in and looked around. I asked her if she wanted a drink. She didn't. I don't know. Human, looked like she was in her mid-20s. Samantha, she came in here, homeless or something. But that doesn't surprise me. Of being so close to the CZ, we get a lot of people like that, or at least occasional people like that. She just looked a little frazzled, and
About how long ago was that?
just a few days ago. I don't know, maybe 2 days ago.
All right. You have any idea where I could start looking for? Or folks are kind of worried.
She was here and she was talking to some guys. Well, actually, it was those guys right over there. She was talking to them. They may know a little bit more. She points to a table and some regulars. They're regulars here, and she asked me if there was anybody that I knew that she was looking for a place to stay. So I sent her over there. I was kind of busy at the time,
Thanks. And I'll press the submit button.
All right. He nods and he thanks you.
And I will slam the gin, make a grimace face, and make the acquaintance of the 3 gentlemen.
Yeah, they're sitting there, and they're just some guys, some pretty average-looking guys, sitting and laughing and talking. And as you walk up, they look and they say, "Hey there, chummer, what's going on?"
And nothing too much. Was told you might be able to get me in touch with my cousin.
Your cousin, huh?
Yeah, young lady who's kind of fallen on some hard times. Folks told me that I should probably come out here, see if I can't find her, maybe help her out.
Well, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of people come in and out of here. I mean, who are you talking about?
Girl named Samantha?
Samantha. I mean, I don't know. When do you think? What? I don't. Give me another etiquette roll.
1 success.
He says, pal, people come waltzing around here sometimes, and especially lately, asking about certain people and making up stories about cousins, and I might be able to help you, but I might need a little bit of motivation, if you know what I mean.
I'm just going to do a once over on him real quick. Does he have anything that would indicate to me that he's affiliated with anything?
Yeah, he doesn't look to be like particularly tough or anything. He's just like an average looking guy hanging out with his friends, drinking. He looks like he might be, he's just there having fun.
So, what you drinking?
I mean, the whatever the special is for today, I didn't ask. I just said give me the whatever's the cheapest on tap.
Shame. A man like you should develop some. You look like you need something a little bit hard, a little bit more refined. Hey, barkeep. I whistle again through my teeth. Gentleman here thinks that a bottle sounds good.
His eyes get big, and his friends are like, they laugh, and he brings you over. He yells back, "A bottle of what?"
And the same thing I got. That gin.
All right. He comes over and he hands you a bottle. He says, "It's going to be 75 Nuyen."
Not a problem.
He puts the bottle down on the table and a couple of glasses, and he says, "Have fun."
I pour the guy. I pour the trio a drink, and I look at him. Well, let's start help motivating you through your liver then.
They laugh and they start drinking and making some conversation. Give me another etiquette roll, but with a -1, since you're kind of re-rolling. And we'll say it's after a little bit of time, and he's getting a little drunk.
Well, that's 3 successes. Life is doing pretty, better.
Yeah. So I don't know. After about 30 minutes or so, they're all having a really good time. They've kind of put a real dent in that bottle, and one of them, or the guy you were talking to, says, yeah, I did talk to that girl. You said what was her name? Samantha?
Yeah.
Yeah, she came through here and she was wearing what was it? She came through. She was wearing a real weird jacket. It was some kind of brown jacket with some, I don't know what it was, but underneath it she had some kind of green clothes. Looked like she came from a hospital or something. There had stains on it, and my my friend here, Jimmy, said he thought it was blood, but I don't know if that really was blood or not. But anyway, um, I think that I told she was asking if there was a place where she could stay, and I told her that not that the place down the street in the collective here was, there was always room there. It's this place down by down on the other end of the collective, and he gives you the name of the place. It's a building, or he gives you the address anyway, and it's near a place where they manufacture drugs. And he says, "I told her that place was real cheap, but be careful because there's some unsavory types over there." She left.
All right. Enjoy the bottle. I'm going to make my way down there, see if I can't find her.
What, you leaving? You're leaving already?
Can't leave a good girl out in the cold now, can I? Wouldn't it be gentlemanly?
Well, I mean, if you're just leaving this bottle here, then well, I guess we'll have to drink it.
Couldn't go to a better, group of gentlemen. Enjoy.
Here's to what was your name again?
Yonkers.
Here's to Yonkers, and they lift up their glasses, and the guy lifts up the bottle. They all cheer and take a drink.
Yonkers will slam what's left of in his glass and nod and then make his way out. His professional liver not impressed with their alcoholism.
Give me a body plus willpower roll. See if you made yourself even slightly inebriated.
You may not be as well off as I thought.
Yeah. For the next hour, you're gonna have a -1 to your tests. You're not drunk, but you're tipsy.
What to say? Do I get any sort of bonus for having an addiction to alcohol? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm kind of conditioned.
yeah, I took that into account. All right, so you have a location of where this guy told you that he told her there might be a place to stay.
I'll ping that out to the party. Did that come through?
All right, Case will When he receives the location, he does a search, see what he can find on the location, what type of place it might be, security, is it a coffin hotel, that kind of thing.
Sure thing. Give me a matrix search.
4 successes.
Yeah, what you find out is that the building in question is it's like a former office building that's been converted to a place, just a living space. It's next to a large workshop that's in the Maker Collective that specializes in refining drugs. You even managed to find an old layout of the office building.
Okay,
Here.
how far away are we from it?
Oh, it's just a couple of. It's several blocks away. You could walk there in a short time, or you could drive over there in almost no time.
I'm going to start walking that direction. Again, I'm keeping an eye out, not so much on the icons I can see, but for any sign of hidden icons. And once I get to the building, I'm going to intensify that search.
Sure, give me another matrix perception.
4 successes.
You don't seem to be able to locate in the matrix anyway. There's a lot of stuff, so it's there's a lot of pans out there, but unless you were to go through and like really dig into each one individually, it's hard to make out, the difference between them exactly. But as you get to this office building, again, it's just a single story former office building, and there's a lot of it's converted to be a place where people live, and they tend to just stay there for a short time, and it's almost like a hotel, but not exactly. It's more like somewhere between a squat. It's closer to being like a squat, and maybe a little bit nicer than living on the street, but certainly not quite an apartment. Maybe a little bit between a hotel and an apartment. Next door is the drug refinery that I was talking about, and they have people's. It's also like many things in the Maker Collective. It's set up like a store that you could go into if you wanted to in the front of it, but in the back of it, they refine drugs of all sorts of kinds. So, but they do have a like where you can enter in and shop, so to speak.
All right. Case finds a nice place to sit across the street from the entrance, and go ahead and sends a message to the team. I'm at the location Yonkers gave out. I'm just watching the front entrance. Have not seen anything yet.
I think I'm going to go in and see if I can't find and talk to her.
House will meet up with them while he's waiting for a chance to go back to recharge.
What about
Davros going to meet up at front?
Okay, that's what I was going to say. What's Davros up to? So Yonkers, Davros, and House all meet up outside the drug refinery next / living space. Where are you guys headed?
Well, if they're all there, Case will be going in with them.
Yonkers is going to turn off the smart link and all of that for his guns, essentially render them inert, and he's going to ghost with his pan.
Sure.
I think I'm going to go in invisible, just for the heck of it.
All right, Force 3 improved invisibility is on. All right, where are you guys headed? You headed into the drug refinery, or are you trying to head into the building?
I'm going to head into the building.
All right, the front door is locked.
How is it locked?
It looks like it's a pass key.
I got 3 successes with my maglock pass key. Open up the door, slowly walk inside.
Hauser checks in AR to see if the maglock was connected to a larger system for the building.
All right, yeah, you can see that the key is connected to a host for the building.
Okay, Case, this building has its own host that lock was connected to. It wouldn't have set off a trigger that it was deactivated, but somebody may be curious to know why the lock was opened. Do you want me to try to secure as a host, or do you want to do that while we proceed further?
I can go ahead and take care of the host.
See if they have a published directory for the rooms.
Okay. Is there anywhere for Case to sit in the area?
There's a place to sit in that common area.
He goes and takes a seat on the bench, gets comfortable, and pops into VR and starts searching for the host.
Find the host.
Okay. And so he pulls out. What's the noise in the area, 2?
In this area, it's just 1.
So he pulls a couple coins out of his pocket and gives him a toss towards the host. 3 successes.
All right, you got your mark 1 net hit.
So Case enters the host, looks around, and he is going to first of all look for a directory, if there is any, for the building. I know it's more of a flop house or a squatter than a hotel, but see if he can find any kind of records on who is currently occupying the building. He's also going to look for any cameras or surveillance type of devices. And he's going to use a simple action to switch his program, since I keep forgetting to do it. He's going to swap one of his programs for baby monitor.
Sure. It looks like basically there's no cameras except for one at the front door. There's the and the locked door. Roll a matrix perception for the other stuff.
3 successes.
Yeah, there's patrol ice looking around and kind of passes by you as you're in the host, searching for what you're searching for, and you eventually find that there's not a lot. There's a couple of locked doors and stuff like that. There's just the one camera on this host, and there is a file that keeps track of the people who are living there, because it's just got a rent kind of information on it.
Okay. I do a quick look at the file, make sure that there's no data bombs or security. 7 successes.
Doesn't appear to be data bomb on this file.
Okay, he goes ahead and opens the file to take a look at it. Quick look, see what kind of information is there, see if he finds the name we're looking for, or if it has descriptions to go with the tenants, then description.
You do see a Samantha on the list and a room number.
Okay, make a copy of the file and look to find that room on the floor plan of the building.
Yeah, you found it.
Transfer that file with the highlighted section of the one that's marked Samantha. I'm going to stay in VR, and I am going to go ahead and leave the host. What is my score at? Yeah, I am going to basically do Overwatch on the in the host. You know what? No, check that. I am going to exit the host and do Overwatch in the area, specifically looking for, and I'm extremely concentrating on any hidden icons or personas that I might be able to pick up.
I'm going to start moving towards the door for the office suite that she's supposedly staying in.
There's nobody in the hallways right now at this time of the night.
Oi, lads, someone block off both entrances in case she tries to make a runner.
All right, I'll take the entrance at the far end of the building.
A small or a Davros prof. It means you got the south end. Yonkers is going to go up to the door, do a quick check to see what sort of lock it takes.
Sorry.
I'm going to assume it's another maglock passkey.
There's a physical lock on it.
Oh, well, that's actually probably better for me. I'm going to put my ear to the door crack and listen first.
All right, you don't hear anything.
All right, I'm going to try the door real quick just to see if it's locked.
It's not locked.
I'm going to slowly open the door. And as I open it, I'm going to make sure that if I'm not in the direct line of fire, so I'm going to be slightly off to the side.
Sure. Roll your sneaking.
5 successes.
All right, as you get the door open, you're able to just catch a woman sitting in a chair next to a bed.
Looks like House is the only one in the line of sight, so I'm going to give him the high sign, and then I'm going to gently knock on the door and take a step in. I'm going to make no fast movements.
All right.
Okay, I want to roll my security tactics knowledge skill just to see if I understand the sign language that Yonkers threw at me. 2 successes.
What was the purpose of the sign that you gave him?
She's in there.
Roll a reaction plus intuition. She was not surprised. So she's just going to get to act. She almost instantaneously reacting to the sound, almost with lightning fast reflexes. I mean, you see how fast she moves. It's insane how fast she moves. She whips a gun out of the pocket of the brown jacket that she's wearing, and she immediately stands up really fast and points the gun at the door and kind of looks scared and intense and ready all at the same time. And she says, "Who the frag are you?"